Texas, where the Prime Minister, viewers, is going to be traveling in the next 24 to 28 hours. He will land in Houston for the HowdyModi event, as you all know. But Times Now, viewers, has unearthed a massive plot to stoke dangerous communal hatred against Modi as he touches down in Houston. If the Blackout Brigade has been trying to paint Modi as anti-minority here in India to discredit the HowdyModi event, then a shadowy group with mysterious antecedents is working overtime to hijack the event in Houston. Our reporters on the ground there have confirmed to us a diabolical plot. In fact, a diabolical plot, a hate plot to sabotage the Houston HowdyModi event. A proof of communal mobilization in Houston has been exposed by our reporters on the ground, viewers. This is absolutely serious, unprecedented. 16 mosques in Houston have been designated as pickup points or spots for these protesters. Protesters are going to link Modi to communal violence in India, and there are in fact anti-RSS propaganda videos that are being made to recruit the youth in Houston to come out and denigrate Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Protesters are echoing charges by India's Blackout Brigade. They are clearly influenced by them and have been in fact quoting them in their campaign literature, viewers. So in India, and we're going to put shots for you on the left of the Blackout Brigade because it is these individuals, viewers, that are today creating the conditions for a very uninformed kind of narrative spreading across now the world and taking root in an explosive manner in Houston. This is a very serious situation that is developing there. If busloads, viewers, of protesters from mosques are going to show up outside the venue, there can be clashes of the nature that we saw a few weeks ago outside the Indian High Commission in London. And those were very scary clashes, viewers. So the police and the security forces on the ground in Houston will have to be extra alert, because this campaign is being spearheaded by a shadowy organization which goes by an acronym and is very, very scantily perceivable on the web. There is hardly any literature about the International Humanitarian Foundation or the IHF. No one knows much about it. It is supposed to be a front for a group of individuals that have strident anti-Modi views. They are also individuals that belong to organizations that have been campaigning against the RSS and the Bharatiya Janata Party, claiming that both the RSS and the Bharatiya Janata Party are influenced by a pernicious Nazi ideology and are butchering Muslims here in this country. Now, viewers, what you are hearing from Times Now has also been independently confirmed by prominent right-wing analysts. They have also picked up on the plot to try and discredit Modi to scare away prominent American lawmakers and other participants from the event by getting protesters to link the Prime Minister to communal violence. Yes, Katie Hopkins, an activist, has even come out and tweeted saying that the mass protest is being organized for HowdyModi event. And in fact, she says, surprise, surprise, the bus pickups for those protesting against Modi and Trump are the mosques of Houston. And she says, see how this works yet? Mosques are not simple places of worship. They are places of coordination and control. Hashtag stop the bus. So she has been putting out this information, but Times Now has been able to independently verify. We've even gone to a couple of the mosques. We've even tried to call the numbers. And we can tell you that there is a mass movement on the ground being organized and orchestrated by this shadowy organization that goes by the name of International Humanitarian Foundation. No one knows anything about this particular organization. We can only tell you from the telephone calls and the secret inquiries that we've made, it has links to a large number of NGOs that say that they are working in the space of exposing communal hate around the globe. So we don't know who these individuals are, but this is very, very shocking, because if you go through the literature that is available, that is being distributed, it sounds much like the words of the Blackout Brigade here in India. Now, you know, viewers, that over the last few weeks, a very strident attempt is being made to project Mr. Modi as an anti-minority force in this country, a very divisive figure who is trying to muzzle the rights of minorities in this country. And this is being made, this attempt to try to pigeonhole him is being made by a group of very strident and powerful activists. And I just want to very quickly bring out to you a reaction that has also come out from Katie Hopkins. What she says is that she is going to be trying to expose these individuals who are trying to malign the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. She's also going to petition the United Nations ahead of Imran Khan's rant that he is scheduled to give just hours before Narendra Modi will be speaking at the United Nations. She, of course, is a fiery and outspoken right-wing activist who is no stranger to controversy herself. Let's just play out what Katie Hopkins has said.
I'm here in Geneva at the UN building for the Human Rights Council 42nd meeting, and I'm here speaking out in support of Modi and his actions in Kashmir, where he has revoked Article 370. And what that means is, for the first time, minorities have rights, and for the first time in a long time, women have rights too. If they choose to marry someone from outside Kashmir, they still have the right to their property and the right to leave inheritance for their children. So it's a strange old thing, you know, that our mainstream media don't want to talk about that, seem to be taking the side of Pakistan, and don't want to support Modi and his support for Hindus, minorities and women. Curious, isn't it, how it works? The other thing is that Imran Khan left this place saying that he felt very much that these people were on his side, and that the 59 members of the Human Rights Council were definitely with him. Well, funnily enough, Imran, no, these people are not all with you. Secondly, there's only 48 members of the Human Rights Council, so you can't just go around making up 11 members to kind of suit your narrative.
Well, what is of grave concern, viewers, is the attempt at whipping up communal passions in Houston by turning Houston mosques into command and control centers. The idea, we are being told, is to recruit thousands of Muslims to crowd the arena, which could lead to the type of situation we witnessed outside the Indian High Commission in London recently. This is a very serious problem. And let me tell you, today, in the press conference that was held by the Ministry of External Affairs, Foreign Secretary Mr. Gokhale also referred to a clandestine move being made to disrupt the Howdy Modi event. However, he did assure participants and all those who are going to come from different parts of the United States, from the Indian diaspora, and also, of course, neighboring countries, 50,000 of them, that they will be looked after. There will be no security problems for them. So even the Indian government coming out with a statement on this, this is a very serious issue, viewers. 16 control centers, mosques are doubling up as these. That's one of them. Masjid Abu Bakr, 8830 Galveston Road, Highway 3, Houston, Texas, 77034. That's the code. Another pickup center for the protesters will be the Mariam Islamic Center, 504 Sartatia Road, Sugarland, Texas, 77479 is the pin code. And there are many such locations, viewers. There are 16 of them in total. Masjid at 80 Taqwa. This is 10415 Sinnott Road, Sugarland, Texas, 77498. So there is an orchestrated campaign. The mosques are the mobilization centers, and I'm bringing in very quickly Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, our senior editor, into this conversation, because you've been speaking to individuals on the ground. Some of them don't want to appear on television because they're residents of Houston, of course, Madhav, and they fear for their own safety. But what are you hearing? What's all this about?
Well, Rahul, one thing is very clear, that there has been a campaign that has been going on, and that is a political campaign in India to try and target Prime Minister Modi. Now, that has acquired mammoth proportions on cyberspace, on social media over the past fortnight or so. We saw a campaign also which actually, was urging the Gates Foundation, for instance, to not award the Prime Minister an award for the work on Swachh Bharat, for the work on sanitation, on the ostensible grounds of the abrogation of Article 371. Actually wonders what the connection between the two is, but we saw editorials in fact come out in newspapers. We've seen tweets come out in the social media, and all of this being pushed by a section of lawyers, of activists, of politicians who just want to try and muddy the waters. Now, what we understand is all of those tweets, all of the content that has been doing the rounds for the past several weeks has finally culminated into this kind of a situation where there will be several of these protesters who will try and reach that venue to try and disrupt it, to try and embarrass Prime Minister Modi. The ultimate aim really, of course, seems to be engaging in some kind of fear-mongering as far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned, a person who has not been elected once but twice by the people of India, and try and engage in this entire narrative that he's somehow against the interests of Muslims. And that's why you see the mosques are activated, they are being used as pickup zones, and that exactly is what is being feared at this point of time. One will really have to see what transpires over the weekend in Houston, but this is the sense that we are getting, Rahul. This is the understanding that we're getting after speaking to several such individuals of what the entire plot is. This is really what it's all about.
Have also been written, let me tell you, by some prominent Indians, as well as, of course, members of the Pakistani diaspora working in tandem to warn the Gates Foundation that wants to award the Prime Minister for his work on Swachh Bharat to not give the Prime Minister this award, because they believe, these individuals believe, that he is a Muslim hater. This is what they have said, quote unquote. And I just want to open this out. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the Bharatiya Janata Party with us. This is an extremely serious issue. Madhu Kishwar also there with us. Let me first bring you in, Madhu Kishwar. Very serious issue. Times Now has exposed this. This is a situation that is developing even as we speak. The mobilization drive is on. You can even go to the website of this particular organization. It has links not just to Imran Khan's political party, but several NGOs that are active in India, as well as, of course, groups that describe themselves as part of the liberal left consensus that find Mr. Modi's policies anti-minority. Madhu Kishwar.
Firstly, Rahul, thank you very much for coming out with this expose. Forewarned is forearmed, and the manner in which this whole protest is being picked up makes it very clear that these are ISI puppets. See, ISI is a hydra-headed monster, and it can prop up terrorist groups or ostensible human rights groups which give a cover to their terrorist groups overnight by the dozen. That's what it has been doing. You can't even count the number of terror groups that ISI has spawned. And so, to me, the worry is not so much protest and the rants, because the world has now dismissed them firmly. To me, the worry is regarding Narendra Modi's life. These could also be hiding assassins, because Pakistan has tried many times. Don't forget the number of times there have been assassination attempts on Modi's life, starting with Sohrabuddin and that gang that was going to Gujarat, then the blast in Patna where he was speaking at a rally. And so there have been many foiled. Luckily for us, the Indian government doesn't tell us about how many attempts have been foiled, lest there is panic in the country. But to me, the real worry is that that's part of the security which takes care of Modi's personal safety and that of people around him.
I want to
should
open
not
this
be
out.
compromised.
I think you make a very valid point.
As far as the rants are concerned,
Madhu Kishwar, the unfortunate part is that the script that is being disseminated sounds so much like what we hear in this country. And we know that very recently when Pakistan submitted its own report and distributed it to European nations as well as the UNHRC, it was quoting Indian leaders, Indian politicians, Indian activists. Now, I want to very quickly bring in Abdul Razak Khan. Abdul Razak Khan, I want to ask you, do you believe today that a disservice has been done on the back of fake news that is being propagated by a lobby in this country to India's image abroad? All of this stuff which is unsubstantiated, fake, is being picked up today and is being used as ammunition.
Rahul, it might be fake to some and it might be real to some. Protest did happen during the Manhattan event at the Madison Square event. Protest did happen before the Silicon Valley event in
Sir,
California.
I was there.
So protests
I'm
do
sorry
happen.
to interrupt you.
Today
These
you
are
are contending
communal
that
protests.
mosques have been the centers.
No, 1 minute. There's a difference here. Please. The reason why we are actually having this debate is because there is a communal protest here. This is to try and motivate Muslim youth from other minorities to come out there and label India as an intolerant society.
How can you say only Muslim
and
youth?
A lot of
the Sikh community people from the Khalistani movement have already held a trial rally bringing out tractors and trailers. They held it from Sikh National Center to in the northwestern Houston till up to the Energy Center. So stop blaming only Muslims. So anybody has the right to protest. Let us not give it a communal angle.
Entire
People
globe
do
is
protest. So they
protesting against this.
In India, you protest, you get sedition charges. Now Shehla Rashid raised the red
European
flag.
Parliament
He is facing
discussed
sedition
Kashmir
charges.
after
So that
11
nobody
years.
should protest.
One minute. Let's not speak over each other.
Has the
One
right
second.
to protest.
Mr.
You cannot
Razak.
brand them.
It's
Okay.
not protest.
You cannot brand them. Not only
Mr.
mosques.
Razak, look.
There are religious
one second.
minorities in
Mr. Razak, 1 second, sir, please. Let's today be a little responsible and reasonable, and I want to bring in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi also. We're going to try and connect with him. We're having a few issues with the BJP spokesperson. Now, there is a problem here. It's mosques that are being used, a very prominent symbol of Islam that is being used, or misused rather, to mobilize this support. Do you think, sir, this
National
is...
Center.
1 second, sir, please.
Mosques do only such things, Rahul.
Let me ask the question. Mr. Razak, do you think this is... 1 minute, Madhu Kishwar. Mr. Razak, do you think this is desirable? Mixing religion with politics, do you think this is desirable? Do you think this is desirable?
I'm saying do not isolate only Muslims are doing the protest. There are people who belong to the Buddhist community,
groups that are
the
assembling
Christians,
here,
the Jains, everybody, somebody who is not happy with Modi ji's policies.
1 second, because tomorrow
somebody who is not happy with Modi ji's policies.
Okay, so it is okay to misuse
even
mosques to
before
mobilize.
The Madison Square event, people called Modi terrorists. Go back.
Okay, so it's okay for mosques to be misused for political activities. Okay, that's what Abdul Razak Khan says. Tomorrow,
but that's all
tomorrow Hindus will say that we will use our temples. We will use our religious iconography.
The core ideology
for political reasons. And you say that Hindutva is a problem.
You are misquoting me.
I'm
you
not,
are
sir.
Misquoting me.
You are legitimizing
I have
this.
given you the perfect address where people of other communities are also joining the protest.
No, do you know something about these protests?
People, but
do you know something? I don't know. So thank you for enlightening us. Maybe, sir, you are in touch with these protesters, and this proves my point that there is a bridge between.
If I ask somebody to stand there in front of the parliament so that I pick him up,
Mr.
you will
Razak,
say parliament is being used.
Mr. Razak, let's not speak over each other. I know you are agitated. I know you are agitated, but let's not speak over each other. I only want to say here very, very clearly that there is there is a problem here when the mobilization is in the name of Islam. And we have to accept this particular point in this particular case. I don't know what event you are talking about, sir. I'm talking about this. You can go on to the website of this particular organization. I request you to do so. Go look at it and you will see for yourselves what I am saying. This has been confirmed by our reporters who have gone on the ground there to check and verify. At least 6 of these facilities have been checked by an affiliate channel that is tied up with Times Now to cover the Howdy Modi event in Houston. They are the ones who gave us this information with great responsibility after cross-checking and even calling this particular organization. We have run this story. If you pick up the phone and you dial the number, the first words that are uttered are Assalamu alaikum. And it goes on. So obviously, sir, this is an organization that represents Muslim interests. Nothing wrong with that. But to use Muslims to suggest that India is communal is to defeat the point. Surely you will agree with me. I think someone is raising their hand. Let me bring in Mr. Kashaf.
It's jihadi interests.
Mr. Kashaf.
Rahul, don't be too mild with them.
No, I'm responsible. I'm not going to use words that are, which are going to lead people to suggest that I am purveying some communal agenda.
This is all about global jihad against India.
Well,
this is all about global jihad against India. There is no other face to it.
Those are your views.
The mosque is off.
They're strong views.
Those among our own people who are standing up
there is an element of Islamist extremism in Kashmir. We know that. We know that in Kerala it is taking root. 1 second.
Why are you not accepting?
Mr. Kashani, stop shouting.
We don't want to see through your eyes.
Stop shouting.
You keep your bloody jihadi
one at a time.
To yourself.
No one is running anywhere. Please, let's speak when you're spoken to. Relax, calm down. Heavens are not going to fall. Now let me bring in Mr. Syed Abdahu Kashaf. Mr. Kashaf, I want to ask you this case. I want to ask you, in this particular case, do you believe?
First of all, I would like to,
go ahead. You don't want to wait for the question?
First of all, I would like to congratulate the mosque. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Maryam Islamic Center, Masjid Abu Bakr, Masjid Hamza and every other NGOs who are running this campaign against PM Modi. What Mr. PM Modi has done is against the democracy. He has locked down Kashmir. If people of the community, certain community are upset with him,
so
then
will you take responsibility for the violence?
Right
will you take responsibility? No, 1 second.
They will do it.
Where is the proof?
What does Islam have to do with democracy?
Where is the proof?
And I'm not talking about the violence. There is a difference.
1 second. What has religion got to do with human rights? Human rights
are universal. जी आप अपना फैसिज्म साइड में रखिए, ठीक है? Always same thing. मैंने आपका ट्विटर हैंडल देखा है, जो है ना पूरा फैसिज्म भरा हुआ है. उससे हटके कुछ है नहीं. You can how can you call them global jihadis? Do you know the difference between democracy and jihad?
Sir, what would you call Pakistan? What would you call Pakistan, Mr. Kashaf? Tell me, what do you call Pakistan? What do you call Pakistan? Answer the question.
I have nothing to do with Pakistan.
What do you call Pakistan? Condemn them. Condemn it. What do you call ISIS? What do you call Lashkar-e-Toiba? What do you call Hizbul Mujahideen? Tell me. What do you call Hizbul Mujahideen? Tell me. What do you call Hizbul Mujahideen? What do you call?
No, you don't.
1 minute. You answer my question. Afzal Guru. What is Afzal Guru? Tell me. What is Afzal Guru to you?
I don't care about them. I condemn.
You tell me.
I don't even know who they are.
So, Afzal Guru.
Oh, come on, don't.
Tell me.
Compulsory that every Muslim should be compared.
I'm asking you, what about Mr. Wani? What about Wani?
Lie when you have
You tell me, what about Wani? What do you make of Burhan Wani? Tell me, Mr. Kashaf. Let's talk about it.
Listen.
No. Do you call? No. Do you call Mr. Wani? Tell me yes or no. Do you call Mr. Wani a global jihadi? Yes or no?
Islam does not allow a Muslim to do terrorism.
आप मुझे बताइए sir, what do you call Mr. Burhan Wani?
Islam is only about terrorism.
No, it's not.
That's all it has spread to the world.
It's not, Madhu Kishwar. It's not. You know that's not true. It's not. Let's not make us communal like this. Let's not preach hate. Please, 1 minute. I want to ask you, lower everyone's favors. I want to bring in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Dr. Trivedi, we have exposed a massive plot. Unfortunately, it is a communal plot to buttonhole Mr. Modi in the garb of an individual who promotes a particular hardline ideology. This is being promoted in Houston, Texas, the venue for the Howdy Modi event, even as we speak. And I want to bring you in on this. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Rahul, whatever is being done to Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is nothing new. They have tried all their effort since last 18-19 years to stop him politically. That has gone in vain. As Madhukeshwar ji has said, there were numerous plots to eliminate him, has gone in vain. There were numerous plots to defame him, that has gone in vain. You remember, there was a time when in this same United States, when I want to make it very clear, Modi ji has never applied for visa, but there was a suo moto campaign from India. Member of Parliaments of India were writing to the US Senate that he should not be given visa. What does this mean? You are giving utter disrespect to the sovereignty of India, to the democracy of India, for an elected chief minister who was then, and also to the judicial system of India. But what happened? Look at today. The more than 50,000 people are coming, and the President of United States is sharing the dais and coming in the program of Modi ji. तो मैं कहना चाहूँगा साहब, जो मोदी के लिए दिल में नफरत है ना, उसको संभाल के रखिए, समझ के रखिए. अरे मरीज़े नफरते मोदी पे लानत खुदा की, मर्ज बढ़ता गया जो दवा की. अब भी ना समझ में आ रहा हो तो आप पर दूसरी बात मैं कहना चाहता हूँ. ये जंग के जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, this type of organization which used to use these religious places for a point of hatred. I would like to remind, who was the mastermind of 9/11? Anwar Akhlaqi. He used us to preach from the mosque. Why it has happened? Why the Muslims should have come, that they will not allow any mosque to be misused? Whether it is the Lal Masjid of Lahore, whether it is the Masjid of Kabul, or whether it is in Srinagar. Why it is used? Yes, I agree that these are the places of worship. We also respect them. But अगर रोग आपके अंदर आ गया है तो आप ही को इलाज निकालना पड़ेगा. ये अमेरिका में क्रिश्चियनों से लड़ाई आपकी, ये इजराइल में फिलिस्तीन में आपकी यहूदियों से लड़ाई आपकी, यूरोप में लंदन मैड्रिड ब्रिस्बेन में वहां पे लड़ाई आपकी, चाइना के सिकांग में कम्युनिस्टों से लड़ाई आपकी, श्रीलंका में बुद्धिस्टों से लड़ाई आपकी, म्यांमार में बुद्धिस्टों से लड़ाई आपकी. भैया ये सब जगह लड़ने वाली दूसरी पार्टी जो भी हो, पहली पार्टी आप क्यों बने रहते हैं? ये वायरस अगर घुस गया तो इस वायरस को निकालिए, निकालने का समाधान करिए, ना कि अब्दुल रज़ाक करिए. दिस इज माय जस्ट सिंपल.
मुसलमान है, इस्लाम है, तो रीजनल लड़ाइयां होते रहेंगी ना. वो कोट करके आप इस इवेंट से क्यों जोड़ रहे हैं?
मिस्टर रज़ाक,
व्हाई देयर इज नॉट अ फाइट? अरे आप कभी आपने सुना आयरिश रिपब्लिकन आर्मी वाज ऑपरेटिंग from a Roman Catholic Church in Ireland? No. Why it's only with Islam?
Religious places का इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा है. Religious places pick-up points है. आप दोबारा जाइए.
Abdul Razak, please, let's not be so. Let us not try to be. No. Let us not try to play down. What is Islamic community should stand up. What is an absolutely certified, self-proclaimed?
Somebody writes an article against Mr. Modi. He is a Pakistani. There are people from Kashmir living in Houston. There are people from India living in Houston. If I was there, even I would have been a part of the protest.
Mr. Kashani, 1 minute. We're not speaking to you. 30 seconds. Abdul Razak is responding to Dr. Trivedi. Let him respond, please. Dr. Trivedi, respond. He's saying that you are trying to mischievously suggest that this entire agitation is got communal Islamist roots, just because mosques are pick-up points. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes. What I am trying to say, I have given an elaborate example. Still, if he is not satisfied, ये सिडनी में बम ब्लास्ट होते हैं, न्यूजीलैंड में तो मॉस्क बीच में आ जाती है, माली में होता है तो, इथोपिया में होता है तो, सोमालिया में होता है तो.
इस प्रोटेस्ट के बारे में बात करिए ना सर. इस प्रोटेस्ट में खालिस्तानी सिख भी खड़े हैं. सर, इस प्रोटेस्ट में मोदी जी के खिलाफ खालिस्तानी सिख भी खड़े हैं. सर, बहुत सारे लोग हैं.
What does this mean of the pickup point? Can you allow your house to become the pickup point of a?
How can you stop somebody from coming and get picked up in front of a place?
Allow your religious places to become the pickup point of terrorists? Why?
Sir, nobody can stop that. Nobody can stop that.
रसूल है, अमले सियासत नहीं.
Okay, well, Well, viewers,
Arey sir, you are just being selective here.
One second,
there is
one second.
Gentlemen,
look, no one has it. 1 minute. 1 minute. Gentlemen, please. No one has a problem. 1 minute. No one has a problem. No one has a problem with protests as long as they are peaceful. As long as a larger point is being made. But this shows that there are individuals who are using religious places for a political end. This is not civilized. And Mr. Kashani, you're a young man. You know what that takes you. You have seen the example of Syria. You have seen the example of even certain individuals in the Kashmir Valley. Now, we have been able to speak to one of the organizers. And this is what the organizer has told us. We're going to put it out. Let's break it. Viewers, this is big. Times Now has been able to establish contact. I told you that we have been trying to reach out to the organizers. And now this news break has been confirmed. The organizer has spoken to us. The protest organizer has spoken to us from Houston, Texas, in the United States. And he says that the mosques in Houston will all come out in protest. Now, religious organizations have been drawn into this entire protest. This is very, very dangerous, viewers. This is an attempt here to also try and divide us here at home. And let's play out this interaction with this individual who is the organizer of this event.
Some 13 mosques, out of which Masjid Al-Taqwa was one of them. So people, basically that's a gathering point at 8 a.m. is what it said.
Yeah, it's going to be a large protest in Houston.
So, and this is happening from your mosque also?
Yes.
And how many other mosques, if I could get an idea, if you have a team or something that's looking into?
Well, the whole city is doing it, whole state of Texas is doing it. So there is.
And why is this happening?
Because of the atrocities in India against minorities.
There you go. Attacks against minorities. That's the reason why we are doing this. Attacks against minorities where? In India. That's what they're trying to say. In Kashmir. Only, viewers, 2 lives have been lost in Jammu and Kashmir. 2. Since August 5th. And those individuals have succumbed to the bullets of terrorists. Of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Jaish-e-Mohammed, and the Hizbul Mujahideen that are all working together. So, viewers, you make up your minds. We brought out the facts. Do you think today individuals who have created this fear psychosis in this country should take some responsibility for maligning India's image on foreign soil? That is the question. And Mr. Kashani, I'm coming out to you. Please today be reasonable and think about it. I want to ask you, sir, are individuals like you who have today spread some sort of unsubstantiated news about what is going on in Kashmir, whipped up a frenzy against the Prime Minister, which could even endanger his life? This is very serious, Mr. Kashani. I hope you don't justify this.
First of all, Rahul, what you said is only 2 killings have happened. This is completely untrue. This is a lie. There is a 13-year-old boy. The first killing that happened, he was drowned in Jhelum because he was chased by armed forces. Second happened in Saura. A 14-year-old boy was hit by pellets in his head. He got killed. Third killing happened in Shopian, where a boy was killed in a custody. So you can't say no killings happened. Secondly, if Kashmir is a Muslim majority state and the fundamental rights of the state have been taken away, what is the problem if the Muslim community outside country is speaking for them? Why are we living in a denial mode? Why are we living in a denial mode that the problem is within a country? Problem is in Kashmir. If everything is normal, then let the Indian government send a delegation from United Nations or a delegation from international media to visit Kashmir and check what is happening there. Why are we in a denial mode?
Okay. One second.
About if there's a Pakistan's
point by
involvement
point,
in
sir.
them, who has given them?
Mr. Kashani,
Who
point
has
by
given
point.
Pakistan? Who
One
has given
second. You made
Pakistan a
certain
chance?
claims. You made certain claims. Let me just give you some information. The Indian government has come out. The state police in Jammu and Kashmir, the governor of the state of Jammu and Kashmir have come out and given casualty figures. They have said 2 individuals have been killed. You know the names that have been taken by the state administration. Very simply, if there are so many other cases, how come none of these cases are brought up by activists in the Supreme Court during the hearings? Point number 1. How is it that no other political party raises these issues in the Supreme Court, even though they appear before the Supreme Court?
There have been
1 second, sir, please.
Rahul.
Mr. Kashani, let's not lie. This is a fact. You show me one deposition.
Nobody is
On the second issue,
lying.
Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Terrorists kill Muslims. When Kashmiris are killed by terrorist guns, they never upset. Not a word of condemnation.
Dr. Trivedi wants to
Actually,
respond.
what they are missing is riots.
I condemn.
They want riots. They
I am
want
against
killings because,
terrorism.
like,
I am
vultures,
against
I'm glad,
they
sir.
feed on
Kashani
dead
sir,
bodies.
gun.
I'm
I
glad.
am
There've been
against
no
them, but that
riots
does not
during
mean
Modi
we don't give
regime.
equal importance
That's
to
what
local
is
people.
actually worrying them.
And
Mr. Kashani,
I
look,
don't expect
1 minute.
you.
Mr.
I don't
Kashani,
expect anything from you
that
because
Modi
you just
government
said
has not
all
allowed
Muslims are
riots.
jihadis.
It
1
has
second.
not allowed bomb blasts.
No one
There
takes
is
that
no
statement
bomb
seriously,
blast.
Mr. Kashani.
They
You know that.
neutralized terror
You know
cells.
that.
They are upset.
No one
because
takes that
terror
statement
cells
seriously.
are
But-
Government record
neutralized.
says there
But-
are more than
Why?
300
1 minute.
protests.
Let me.
There
1
have
second.
been more than 300 protests. Their government
Let me
record
bring
says
in.
that.
Sir, protests happen
They're
on a
down
daily
for
basis in
blood
Jammu and
red.
Kashmir. They've been happening, sir. They've been happening for 25 to 30 years. You know that.
So that
Stone pelters.
Is that normalcy
No, no,
that you
stone
say?
pelters
Is that
armed
normalcy?
and
Is
given
that
money.
normalcy that you
1
talk
minute, sir.
about?
Stone pelters armed and given money by Pakistan go
Where
out
are
there
the money
regularly
givers?
to tempt fate.
Where are the
and
money givers?
there
They are in
is
Agra jail.
unfortunately no 1
You
second
have-
and there
the
are
government
problems.
has
No one is
arrested
denying
more
it. Now
than
1 minute.
400 separatist
1 minute,
leaders and
viewers.
kept them in Agra jail.
1 minute,
want
Mr.
one
Kashani.
givers.
1 minute. A
Bucket
quick
brigade,
response from Dr.
Rahul.
Trivedi. Dr. Trivedi, very
So
quickly, because I need to move on to another big story. Yes, Dr. Trivedi, very quickly.
Themselves
Very quickly.
Okay. I just want to conclude in 3 sentences. Number 1, Mr. Kasani has totally demolished the cause of so-called Kashmiri movement, because he has categorically said this is a Muslim majority state, then why the Muslims should not speak about this wherever in the world. But I would like to ask, forget about the world. In India, can a Kashmiri Muslim was having right to buy a piece of land? No. अरे किसी कश्मीरी से शादी नहीं करते थे कश्मीरी इंडिया के मुस्लिम्स को because they consider Indian Muslim as inferior to them. And third point he has raised about the so-called atrocities on Muslims and on the international arena. अरे कश्मीर के बगल में सीचांग प्रोविंस है. अरे जवाब दीजिए, जहाँ टोपी नहीं रख सकते, नमाज नहीं पढ़ सकते, दाढ़ी नहीं रख सकते, आप ओपनली कुरान नहीं रख सकते, ओपनली रोजा नहीं रख सकते, हैसियत है किसी की बोलने की? Has anybody dared to speak? और कि पाकिस्तान उसके तलवे चाटता है और ये कम्युनिस्ट उसके तलवे चाटते हैं और यहाँ पे खड़ा होकर बात कर रहे हैं. It means you have nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with Islam.
1 second, gentlemen.
Cheer.
Okay, gentlemen, look. Times Now has reported this. Times Now has reported this. This is an important report. I just hope that the American government and the embassy here is also tuning in tonight, because this could prove to be a dangerous security situation in Houston. The Prime Minister is expected to land in Houston in about 30 hours as we count. One just hopes that there is security adequately. We've also contacted the organizers at one of the mosques that belongs to this particular rights organization or so-called rights organization, which, by the way, viewers, has a very shadowy presence. They only have a website where they say donate and enlist. For what, we don't know. This is now for the security agencies to investigate. We move on.